Are we live? There we are. We'll call this meeting to order. We stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberties and justice for all. May we have the roll call?
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Graff.
Here.
Mayor Grubbs.
Here.
Ms. Knock.
Here.
Mr. McMurdo.
Make a motion to excuse Mr. McMurdo.
Second.
Ms. Knock.
Yay.
Mr. Wilson.
Yay.
Mr. Graff.
Yay.
Mayor Grubbs.
Yay.
All right. You've got the minutes from the last meeting, June 11th, 2024.
Madam Chairman, since they're printed, I would move we approve as printed.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Wilson.
Yay.
Mr. Graff.
Yay.
Mayor Grubbs.
Abstain.
Ms. Knock.
Yay. All right, we have some visitors here this evening. Hello, everyone, and I believe they are all of our visitors are in the new business, so we can go straight into the new business, and if you would like to speak, you may do so. We have the first one, the 138 Harrison Avenue. Joette, will you read the staff report?
Yes, this applicant is applying for zoning and use approval in the downtown redevelopment district. The applicant is required to submit a zoning and use permit to open a business in the DRD, and such permits cannot be issued until approved by Planning Commission under Section 114306B. If this request is approved by Planning Commission, the applicant intends to open a bookstore and studio focused on providing customers with a community space to shop books and book-related items, including jewelry, t-shirts, tote bags, candles, journals, and many other items. The business will occupy 2 spaces. The main retail space will be at 138 Harrison Avenue. The studio space is on the side of the building at 103 South Vine Street, and will serve as a workshop for making jewelry, as well as the space for teaching craft workshops. Book club meetings and themed events will also be held monthly in the space. The applicant will have 2 employees on site and will be open Thursday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday, 10 to 7 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The building is a 2-story building with apartments on the 2nd floor. The applicant will be using the approximate 2,000 square feet on the ground floor, including 138 Harrison Avenue and 103 South Vine. There are no existing landscaping areas on the property. On-street parking is available in the front and side of the building, and there's a small parking lot behind the building. No outdoor lighting plan is proposed. The sign logo below, as you can see on your report, will be on a hanging sign on the side of the building outside the entrance. The application has been reviewed by Harrison Planning and Zoning staff and meets the Harrison zoning regulations per 1143C5, which states sale of goods and products at retail. The application also meets the intention of the downtown strategic plan. If Planning Commission approves this application, the Building and Zoning Department would recommend the following conditions. All waste associated with the business will be disposed using residential style waste containers, and any dumpster that is used in the future will require review and approval by the Building and Zoning Department. Any future structural interior or exterior improvements will require a building permit presented to the Building and Zoning Department for review and approval. Any outside design changes, such as painting of the building or trim, will require a zoning permit filed with Building and Zoning to ensure they are in keeping with the historical nature of the downtown redevelopment district. Any future signage will be submitted to the Building and Zoning Department for review and approval according to the Harrison zoning regulations, and any future landscaping will be maintained in accordance with the Harrison zoning regulations.
Does anyone have any questions for our visitor?
Miss Madam, would you mind stepping up to the? When was this picture taken of the outside of the building?
This was probably, when did you?
I took, there was a couple, I think there was one I took, and then I went to like the Google Maps and also took a screenshot of what was shown
I
too.
believe this is the Google Maps. This has actually all been repainted.
I was gonna say, this has
This is
been
the old,
repainted, isn't it?
old Dietz probably.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
now,
it has all been updated and repainted
Right.
in the last 3 years.
Well, that's why, that was gonna be one of the questions is
Yeah.
if the outside, but I'm sitting there like, this is different than,
yeah, we don't plan on painting any of the outside, just the logo on the windows.
Is this the same building that the guy that owns La Rosa's owns that? Used to?
Jim? Yep, Jim.
He still, does he still own it?
I don't know if he still owns the La Rosas, but that is the landlord, yes, yeah.
Yeah, they no longer own the La
Please?
Rosas. They no longer own the La Rosas, corporate
I knew
owns.
that.
Yeah.
yes. Have you owned and operated a business elsewhere before?
I'm not in a storefront. I've been doing my business from home for the last 4 years,
Have
so,
you?
yeah, yep, and full-time for about 2.5.
And, I'm sorry, do you live in this area?
We live in West Harrison, so not too far.
Very good. Well, my questions were gonna pertain to the storefront.
Oh,
I have no more questions at this time. So, thank you for stepping up here
Thank
to
you.
not answer my
Do you have
question.
any questions? Do you have any questions of us?
Yes.
I don't think so, so if we were to ever do anything to the outside of the building, is that just another form that we would fill out? Yeah, okay,
You would
Yeah,
just
just
come,
stop and see Joe.
okay, yeah,
you would just come to our office and we would walk you through that process.
perfect, thank you.
There's just specific colors and everything that
Right.
we require for that area.
Right.
So you just want to make sure that you clear it prior to proceeding with anything.
Okay.
Madam Chairman, Wilson moves for approval.
I second.
Ms. Knock,
Yay.
Mr. Wilson,
Yay.
Mr. Graff,
Yay.
Mayor Grubbs.
Yay.
Mission approved.
Congratulations. Joette, may we hear the staff report for 133 Harrison Avenue?
Yes, this is also a zoning and use approval in the Downtown Redevelopment District application. The applicant is required to submit a zoning and use permit to open a business in the DRD and cannot be issued until approved by Planning Commission. If this request is approved by Planning Commission, the applicant intends to open a tattoo studio using his years of experience in high-quality tattoo artistry. The applicant will be mentoring up-and-coming tattoo artists in his studio and intends to organize art events, workshops, and collaborations with local artists, encouraging a creative and supportive environment for aspiring artists. The applicant ensures that the studio will meet all health and safety regulations, providing a clean and comfortable environment for clients. Piercings will not be available. The applicant hopes to be a part of a growing art scene in Harrison by attracting visitors and supporting local artists and entrepreneurs, and becoming a community partner within the downtown district and in Harrison as a whole. The applicant will have 2 employees on site and will be open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. The building is a 2-story building with apartments on the 2nd floor, and the applicant will be using the approximate 2,500 square foot on the ground floor for the business. No landscaping areas on the property. On-street parking is available in the front of the building, and there's a small parking lot behind the building. No outdoor lighting plan is proposed. And the proposed signage was not submitted with the application. The application has been reviewed by the Harrison Planning and Zoning staff and meets the Harrison zoning regulations per section 1143, which states barber shops, beauty salons, pet grooming, and similar personal and pet service shops. The application also meets the intention of the downtown strategic plan to create unique businesses that attract new and existing customers using the walkability of the downtown. If Planning Commission approves the application, the Building and Zoning Department would recommend the following conditions. All Board of Health certificates will be submitted to the Harrison Zoning Department and kept on file. All waste associated with the business will be disposed of using residential style waste containers, and a dumpster will require review and approval. Any future structural interior or exterior improvements will require a building permit. Any outside design changes such as painting or of the building or trim will require a zoning permit. Any future signage will be submitted to the Building and Zoning Department for review and approval. And any future landscaping will be maintained according to the Harrison zoning regulations.
Are you
Our
Austin?
applicant is here.
Yeah.
Our applicant Austin is here if you would like to ask him any questions.
Actually, I remember one of the questions I was gonna ask the young lady before. Would you mind stepping up to the podium real quick? Only because the proposed signage was not submitted with the applications. Do you plan to, create any signage that will be hanging from the building? Or will it just be window art?
I might put like some small stuff in the windows. I was told that I need to keep the signage simple, so that's why I didn't go and like do anything extravagant yet. If I do any crazy signage, it was probably gonna be on the walls inside the building. But anything I hang will probably be like simple black letter, you know what I mean? Just like real straight to the point without like the poppiness, vibrance that I was told to avoid.
What is the name of your studio?
I want to call it Soulcraft Tattoo Company.
Soulcraft?
Yes, ma'am.
I think my biggest, I guess my biggest concern with the whole, thing on Harrison Avenue is, the foot traffic that would be generated. Usually a tattoo session would be anywhere from 1 to multiple weeks, depending on, the art that you're generating and, you know, really trying to drive foot traffic
Yeah.
down there. That's my biggest concern with a tattoo parlor taking up a space, on Harrison Avenue. While it does meet our guidelines, and I'll stick to that part of it, trying to generate that traffic is the biggest thing that I'm trying to target in that historic district. While I understand that you also enjoy the foot traffic because it's good visibility for you, having it on a one-off situation is my desire probably more than anything. And that's just me being straightforward with the whole thing. So. Any other questions?
Again, do you have any questions of us?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'll make a motion to approve with the conditions in the staff report.
Second.
Mayor Groves.
Yay.
Ms. Knock.
Yay.
Mr. Wilson.
Yay.
Mr. Graff.
Yay.
Motion approved.
Welcome to Harrison.
Yay.
Congratulations.
And understand, it is purely just the foot traffic that we're looking for. And I didn't mean anything other than stating what I was really desiring from that, so.
Be interesting to see how many people come into your store when we have the food trucks and,
Yeah. Well,
All
I
that.
think, you know, a lot of the conversations that I've been having lately is around the art scene in the city of Harrison. There's a lot of desire to form I hate to say a club, but a community, to improve that. So I do hope that you really buy into what you were stating in the presentation here and help in that area. I can't do anything much more than a stick figure, but I do love art. And I think it's absolutely incredible what people can create, whether it's artwork on the skin or on paper or on canvas or sculptures. That was part of the enjoyment of the trip that I was speaking about before. so.
You look good with a skull and crossbones on your cheek.
I can't say that I put it on my cheek, so.
Okay.
Next item.
All right, and finally, can we have the staff report for the Dry Fork Road Dental Office Building?
Okay. This is a development permit approval. The applicant has submitted a development permit to build a dental office on a vacant lot, and these permits cannot be issued until approved by Planning Commission. If this request is approved by Planning Commission, the property owner intends to build a medical office building on a 1.1 plus acre parcel on Dry Fork Road. The building will be at the new location of Haverkos Family Dental and Orthodontics. The proposed building is a one-story office building and meets the design standards of the business district. The landscape plan has been reviewed by the Harrison Tree Board and meets the landscape requirements in the Harrison zoning regulations. A new parking lot will be built on the property, and the proposed parking plan meets the parking requirement of the Harrison zoning regulations. A proposed lighting plan has been submitted and also meets the requirements of the Harrison zoning regulations. A sign logo has not been submitted at this time. The zoning, a dental office is a permitted use in the business district per section 1143.05 B23, which lists medical and dental offices and other offices for conducting a profession or the administration of a trade or business. This application has been reviewed by Harrison Planning and Zoning staff, and if Planning Commission approves the application, staff would recommend the following conditions. All building and zoning plans will be reviewed and approved by the Harrison Building and Zoning Department, including setbacks, parking, garbage disposal, and height requirements. Any future signage will be submitted to the Building and Zoning Department for review and approval, according to the Harrison zoning regulations. And any proposed landscaping will be maintained in accordance with the Harrison zoning regulations. And the applicant is here if you would like to speak, or if you have any questions.
Of course I have questions. So, one of my concerns around all of Harrison is the curb cuts. They're absolutely everywhere. And you have a business located directly next door. If I remember right, their ingress egress is gonna be right next door to your property line. Will this be a joined, ingress egress, or will you have a completely separate?
I think as of right now, it's completely separate, though, with Mr. Schmidt, it's something I'd be open to talking with if it is better from like an ingress or egress standpoint for a shared, or if it's separate is better, but.
Well, if conversations can be had about a joined one, I think it would be better. Obviously, you still have time to have those conversations, especially with it being that close to the roundabout, having two separate pullouts right next door to each other, just creates future concern along Dry Fork Road, especially as we start having conversations about expanding Dry Fork Road, going all the way down that way. So if you can have conversations with that and keep that in mind as you guys move forward, I think that's probably my biggest concern.
Is this next to the ice cream place?
Yes.
Okay. Is that, would that be the adjoining driveway you're talking about?
Yeah, just make it one in and out for both locations. If you expand it a little bit, make a turn lane.
Yeah, I'd be more than okay with that, and from talking to him, we're gonna share a lot of similar, clientele, customers and things of that nature,
Yes.
given the age demographic that we both work with, so it makes a lot of sense, and we're looking forward to being neighbors, working with each other with stuff.
I guess they're selling so much ice cream, they need a dental lab next
Need a
door.
dentist next door, yeah.
Actually, that's not good for an orthodontist, but after they get their braces on, ice cream's a nice soft treat after you get braces on, so, pretty well.
And then that'll have a monument, low to the ground monument sign.
Yeah, it'll be required.
Yeah. And then, how many employees will you have there?
I have a team of 12, but probably only 10 will come out with me.
So you have a second location somewhere else?
I do. So my main location's on the west side, on Bridgetown Road, next to Nick and Tom's. We are currently seeing patients out of Dr. Miller's dental office in Harrison, which was approved a couple years ago. So we've already been seeing patients out in Harrison. We've just outgrown that space, so.
But this would be a full-time dental place?
We'll probably only be there 1 day a week initially, depending on how growth goes. For our, we'll be in Bridgetown 3 days a week and then out in Harrison 1 day a week is the initial plan.
Reason I asked that, I got to have a cancer surgery on my cheek here. And I tried to get in Harrison, and it was a year
Oh, really?
before they could get me in. And I said, we're not doing that. So the VA outsourced it to UC, which they can get me in next week. I couldn't believe a year.
No, I think a lot of the medical offices in the Harrison area have the same problem. I go to my doctor's office purely because it's 1 mile from my house. But I have it scheduled for a year and a half. I have doctor's visits scheduled for a year and a half.
It's not like I'd be dead in a year and a half.
You and me both. So, but I think it's the same across all fields. And then you go to Kroger's and there's a wait list for a box of cereal. So, any other questions for him?
I agree with the mayor. If there's any way you can have the curb cut, one curb cut for the drive, that would be a lot better out there because of that roundabout. And the flow, the amount of traffic we're probably going to start having come that way because of the other developments we're doing right there at the Dry Park Road when you get off, so.
Yeah, we can talk with Brian and see what can be done.
Okay.
But I would move for approval, and hopefully we can get that curb cut taken care of.
Sounds good.
Second.
Mr. Graff.
Yay.
Mayor Grubbs.
Yay.
Ms. Knock.
Yay.
Mr. Wilson.
Okay.
Motion approved.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good luck. Welcome. Welcome.
All right, and that concludes our new business, and we have no old business on the agenda. So a motion for adjournment.
I'll motion to adjourn.
I was gonna say, did you have anything you wanted to say today? Huh?
Scouting.
Oh, very good. Well, if you have any questions afterwards, please let us know.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Knock.
Yay.
Mr. Wilson.
Okay.
Mr. Graff.
Yay.
Mayor Grubbs.
Yay.
Meeting adjourned.
Very good.